once again to another wonderful episode of Fix It with Izzy. This time we're dealing with a gas stove that the bake function's not working on it. So what we're going to do is we're going to check out a few things and see what's going on with it. And we're going to have ourselves a real good time doing it. This is something that I would consider to be on the experience scale. This would be a 2-star. This is something that if you got a little bit of electrical knowledge and how things work, you should be able to do this job with no problem whatsoever. It is something that amateurs can do. So have no fear in tackling this. The only thing you have to be is just really careful if you have to replace the bake igniter. But we're going to get started on all that here. So what we're going to do is, first let's check, see what kind of igniter that it is. Get down here and... You know how I am. I'll try to do all this one-handed as best as possible. But anyhow, let's have a little look inside here. One up there. Okay, that is a flat igniter. So what you got is an igniter. It's supposed to pull 3.5 amps in order to open up the safety valve, because that's how it works. Pulls your amperage, opens your valve, that lets the gas flow, hits the igniter and goes poof, and that's where we get our flame. So we're going to do a little bit of checking real quick to make sure that we're indeed doing what we're supposed to do, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so when we're looking up there, see it's starting to get a little bit of a glow. Well, that's not enough of a glow if you're going just off the brightness scale and all that kind of good stuff. Because when it's as bright as the sun, that's when you know you're pulling enough amperage in order to do it. However, if it's got the nice, what I call the romantic sunset kind of a glow to it, it is definitely not powerful enough to open up that valve, and you're definitely not going to be getting any power through it. But what we're going to do is we're going to double check that. We're going to throw the amp probe on it and see what kind of amperage you're pulling. Be right back. All right, so now we got everything set to position. Turn our oven on and see where we're at, what kind of amperage we are pulling. And if you look at there, we are well below what we need to be. Right there was like 2.35 and just hanging out there. That is definitely not the 3.5 that we need to open up that valve with. The igniter is shot. We're going to replace it. So stick around, we're going to get this all torn apart, and then we'll take it from there. Alright. Normally, depending on the machine, I'll tear it down partially, or I'll tear it down completely to get to the igniter. This one's a pretty easy job, so I'm going to do it all from underneath. So, we're looking at everything here. Just got to get this bracket out of the way. And we gotta get those 2 screws out up the top there, and the whole igniter piece will come out. This is one of those moments where I'm just gonna put this on time lapse and just let y'all watch. Okay, so what we have here is that is the igniter that just come out, and that is the igniter that is going in. See all that nice, wonderful gray stuff that's on there? Well, that lets you know that this igniter has seen its good full life and has probably cooked quite a few yummy recipes. But we're going to set that off to the side because we don't need it anymore, because we're now on this one. Now, when you go and get your igniters, you're probably going to find that they have stripped ends on them. And that's because they're mostly universal. Hence the reason why I cut the harness adapter off the back side of it, because we're going to just splice that in like that. We've got some nice little ceramic nuts that are going to go on there, keep everything all nice and good. And what we're going to do is we're going to have ourselves a lot of fun, so stick around and show you what we're dealing with when we get to put it all back together. All right, so now we're at the point where we're going to test it. We'll see if it's working. So we're going to be looking at that guy right there. We'll look for the glow. I have turned it on. And if I'm as good as I think I am, we're not only going to have glow, and bright glow, we're going to have flame. Well, we'll just sit tight. Change angle on that. There we go. Okay, you see how this is getting much brighter than the original one was? So this is why I'm talking about that bright as the sun. And will you looky there, we have flame. That'll tell you right there, right off the bat, that the igniter is doing what it's supposed to do. The valve is indeed doing what it's supposed to do. What have you done? Well, guess what? You just fixed it. You're now back to baking like you should. And you did it yourself. And like I said, I mean, it's not really that difficult of a job to do. I mean, out of 5 stars, I give this actually probably a 1, maybe 2 tops if things are a little difficult. But, you know, don't let it get to you. It's a simple thing. Anyhow, thanks for tuning in. If you like what you see, hit that like button, ring the bell, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And let me know that you're still liking what I do. And thanks for coming and hanging out. And have a moment where you fix it with Izzy. Till next time, have a good one.